Hey, I'm here. My name's Kevin with shopabizop.com. I'm here with Dyson Barnett of FanCONNECT Business Opportunity. Dyson, wanted to give you the opportunity to meet all of our shoppers and buyers in a video format to share with them. And we're going to be doing, you and I, multiples that you have. You're involved with multiple business opportunities. And we're going to be doing a feature on each one of those and potentially a little compilation between ourselves in the future. So we wanted to focus on FanCONNECT today. And my biggest focus was, the first, who's it good for? What's cut of the right cloth? We were kind of joking about this earlier, but honestly, who is the right makeup for FanCONNECT? Because not only is it easy to understand from a technological standpoint if you have the right chops, it seems like there is kind of like the right fit. So could you explain that?
Yeah, well, first, thanks for having us on the show first. Second is, who this business opportunity really is for is going to be somebody who, first off, I have some money in the bank so that, I'm not relying on, oh my gosh, I have to make a sale today, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is I kind of have this understanding as to what technology is as far as, what a SMS or text message is, and a little bit about business. So maybe you've worked in a business as a manager, perhaps in the past. Maybe you've owned a previous business, or at least that you've gone to school and you have that business acumen about yourself. Because this business, you're going to be talking to business owners. So you do have to make a lot of sense with them. You have to be able to pair with them, or at least be able to be synergistic with them in value, right? So you have to be able to match your wits with their operations. So it's going to be somebody who, like I said, you want to have a little bit of money in the bank. If I'm doing this business and looking at the people who have came to us and are successful with us, I usually tell people, make sure that you have a run rate of at least 5 to 6 months in the bank. So that way you don't run into trouble and you can easily manage your business. You can eat while you're getting to know the business, and more importantly, start succeeding with us. So something like that would look like maybe I have at least $5,000 to $8,000 in the bank where it's a comfortable statement for myself. If I'm used to making, 50, 60, $70,000 a year income, then I have a little bit of money like that in the bank too. So I can pay for my, my regulars, my gas, my mobile phone, maybe some software you might have to buy. Perhaps you already have it, like Microsoft Office, but that's kind of what you want to make sure that you're really comfortable with, getting into business, because this is a business that you're starting. It's not, you're not going to be selling, something fast and furiously to somebody. The business owner is going to have to agree that, yeah, I like this product. I like you. That's a big important piece, is I like you. And then more importantly, that you have this feeling like I can do business with you. So first things first, make sure that you at least can get into this business. You have a good run rate of 5 to 6 months. And then more importantly, when you're done, that you have these acumens that, I've been in business, I've managed a business, something to those degrees.
And if they were going to have a certain background, college degree isn't necessarily something that they would need, but is a technological background a good thing?
Maybe. What really is going to be the greatest thing is just that you understand loosely the idea of how, mobile in itself works, right? So it's not really that hard to understand in text message, but what we want to, really understand is business, right? So as a business owner or an operator, who you're going to be selling to is going to be local, small businesses, right? Not necessarily mom and pops, but that could be your client. But it could all the way be up to, a client that's making 3-4 million a year, right? So you really want to be able to, most more importantly, talk business sense and sensibilities. That's really going to be it. A little bit of a sales background might help you. It's not necessary, but it might help you. And then lastly is just that you ask yourself a big question. Am I a people person? In other words, do I want to meet somebody new today? That's going to be really, really important for you in this type of business, because a lot of your transactions will be face-to-face. A lot of your presentations will be face-to-face. Yes, it involves a little bit of telephone as well, but you really want to make sure that you want to meet someone, because that'll help you get along quickly in getting prospects, sitting down with the prospect, and really, as ascertaining their needs.
It is a lot of face-to-face, and there is a lot of telephone work, and there is a lot of, I use the term beating the bushes, but, you're going to get a lot of no's, but you're going to get some yeses. I did an interview last week with Brian of Clean Lots, who made it very clear that you need to keep calling people. And you and I have talked about this probably for years now. You have to stay focused on the end goal. Not everybody's going to fit. And for, business opportunities, what I've learned over the last 11 years is stop with the square and the round. That's what we were talking about earlier, is that even though someone could go ahead and buy FanCONNECT for, I think your lowest price is like $5,000, something like that.
That's right.
$49.95, which is not a lot for what you get for this type of business with the residual and potential returns with both passive and residual income that you can make from your business. Sell one account and SMS profile, and every time they send out a text, you make money.
That's right.
So like both of our eyes got big, and as everybody can see, I'm going towards video and I'm going towards SMS in a very large way. I'm converting over actually half of our entire budget to this, and it's not only worthwhile. I've already had a lot of interactions with people on a test basis to see if this would be something for even as good as something like my business,
right.
and buying this. And that's when we got to talking. Of course it is. It's like, it was one of those aha moments where, you really have to sit down and think, of not only marketing budget, but whom you're speaking with. Do they need this service? Everybody's going to need this service. The .com, age is coming around to where .coms are going to become apps. Apps are going to become profiles, essentially. And when somebody's going to be going forward with an SMS program or reaching out to, a cell phone or whatever it might be, everybody claims the 98.6% open rates, all these great things. That doesn't even, all that is wonderful. It's the communicative tool to me that's incredible, that you can reach out to people if they want it. You can't spam people, but if they want it in that tool, you could help a local restaurant increase their business by X, and it's a definable X. It's not like SEO where it takes 700 years, and I don't want to say 700 years. Sorry for the SEO guys out there. I don't want to say 100 years, but certain things take time. Certain things are immediate. Gratification on this one is pretty darn immediate. So the thing that the person needs to know, and I'm glad you open with that, and we're trying to stress that, is you have to have a little bit. The business acumen's good. Sales would, in yours, in my guesstimation, would actually be very beneficial. Because if you can apply your past previous skill set, you were selling online Herbalife when they failed, who knows? Apply it to something like this, because you're going to go out, you're going to meet the same people, you're going to make the same number of phone calls. It's not all a numbers game. This is definitely not a numbers game. It's really methodically thinking through who this could be good for, and then contacting them as to why. But the up and close cycle is going to take a little bit of time. So the person buying this from you, this isn't, slam bam, thank you ma'am type of immediate cash, and you've been around for a long time. So this isn't going anywhere anytime soon, which is nice. So someone can really get their feet wet and understand, what they're doing, rather than their back office being taken out from under them or the MLM structure changing. And I've been stressing this. There's nothing wrong with MLMs or that type of home-based business. I have a lot of them on the website. But I'm trying to get people to upgrade. I'm trying to get them away from that type of business and to go and spend a little bit more money. It's almost like anything. What you spend and the quality of what you're going to do is going to be a little bit incrementally better. But the training is better. The support is better. There's live humans. They'll take your phone call. You will. And it's so rare, and that's what's more needed, is training support for the people that are purchasing, particularly if they're going to spend 10, 15 grand, that they really need to start plugging in, the functionalities of what they're going to do. So that we've discussed kind of who it's good for, and the earnings potential that's out there. As far as the people that you've worked with, typically how long did it take them to get going? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, so the one thing that we recognize is, again, if you're this type of person where you have an A+ personality, you're friendly, you want to meet people, you do have this background of business and or sales. Really, it's not gonna take you long period of time. First off, to get a return on your investment. That's number one. Because it doesn't really take much to do that. 40 accounts in 1 year, and you could be on your way to the following year into 6 figures. So it's very, very easy to do that. But how fast does it take you to get rolling? Really, it depends on you as a person, what that's going to be like. So, for instance, we have to sit down for a second and just realize I'm starting a business, right?
Correct.
So, we're going to give you all the necessities of the tools that are required, from your website to your CRM solution to helping you get situated with payments and stuff like that, so that you can be in business. The things you have to be able to do is you have to be prepared to do business. In other words, I have to set my hours of operation. I have to have a home office ready and capable to making the sales. I have to, set my hours of operations again. And then more importantly, I have to have a strategy that reaches an end goal. Right. So in the very beginning, those are some things that we're going to work with you to define. So, not everybody's into business to race toward $100,000. It sounds great, but not everybody is. Some of us are very methodical in how we do it. And, we want to go through this chase to earn type process. In other words, I chase the education, then I start earning. Others are on the other side of the fence. I want to earn and then chase the know-how. And then that leads you into what's your business going to look like in a year? What's it going to look like in 2 years, right? Because if you start there, that's really going to help you succeed. If you don't start there, that's really going to help you muddle through it. You'll find your ups and downs, and you may even find more downs than ups. But at the end of the day, we're going to help you pretty much navigate that ocean, if you will, in getting this started for yourself and making sure that you have a plan of activities, that you understand, what really is going to help you get there. You have an accountability in how you're doing that, not to us, but to yourself. And then more importantly, the structure. Right. So we give you that back office utility. We give you the skill sets that are necessary from the back office, but we want to make sure that you have a plan of actions and activities and a strategy that makes sense, that you'll be able to go out there and get what you expect. Whether it's that, hey, I just want this thing to pay for itself in its first year, all the way into, no, I want a deep profit, and I would like your help in achieving those things. So if we're looking at how long does it really take, I always tell people, starting your own business, you should always look at the first 30 to 60 days as your proving ground. In other words, I get the business, I become a student of the business, I now become the expert of the business. Now through that period of time, I should have been marketing to my prospects, right? Because I need a little bit of a pipeline. No pipeline, no sales, right? So I'm learning these things. We should be shaking the shrubs or trees, as you just said a few moments ago, right?
Right.
And I should be really saying to people, hey, I'm starting a business. The business name it's powered by FanConnect. We're specialists in helping you do this, growing a massive database. Maybe it's that connecting with your customers on the fly, reaching them within 5 minutes, building your sales immediately. Different short, sharp messages, and then defining how are you going to do that. Are we going to do that via email? Are you going to just stop by and hand out flyers to people and not really get into a sales strategy? Are you going to just set just a little bit of face-to-face appointments just to say hi? Just think to yourself kind of like State Farm, right? A good neighbor. That's what you want to become very quickly to the business owners in your area. They need to know who you are, because that's one of the biggest challenges any one of you considering and becoming a FanConnect dealer is going to face. And that is, no one knows you in the business community, or maybe they
Right.
do. I don't know.
Right. I
But
mean, it might, but in general, you're probably going to be unknown at that point, which
yeah,
can work to
so
your advantage, actually.
yeah, so take that ignorance of market out of the way and
Right.
put some value into it. And people are always, business owners are always happy to meet business owners, as they say.
Yeah, and with something of value added, that a small business, a retailer, or, a restaurant, somebody can. I mean, the amount of people that can use this. That's the other thing that I like about this. It's not a friends and family. It's not something that's finite. This is much larger in scale. I did want to get back. One of the things that you did mention, I actually wasn't going to go in on this video, was earnings. The 48 accounts, by the way, to 6 figures. Your methodical plan is interesting, that if you take the 30 to 60, you become an expert. You're really a student of your own project. So you become an expert in what you're selling. You get on the phone, get your feet wet, or however you're going to do your own marketing. Once you're there, though, you have structure to get you there. That's missing in, I don't know what the percentage is, but a lot. Most of the business out there, they don't give you any structure at all, particularly after the sale. I've been stressing this on almost all the videos that I've been doing, that if that doesn't exist, you probably should think about, unless your business acumen is so strong and I should speak right to the camera, and you know exactly what you're doing, you should go to an expert like Dyson. And if you want to start selling, X product to somebody, you have to be backed by a company that knows what they're doing. Credit card processing alone is a nightmare. Getting, different things set up like a back office that you guys have that, I hate to use the term robust, is complete. I don't know what else you would add in these type of things, but you're there. You've got everything for them to make this a business, but applying themselves is going to be, kind of the key, to the whole thing. And then after the fact, keeping it going. This isn't something where you have to keep the wheel going. If you're going to get to a methodical way of thinking and you're going to slow down, you could potentially make 7 figures, not 6. Yes. So if you're thinking the 3 to 5 year plan with this program, you really can do that. I took a calculator to your plan. And if you re-engineer that, you could make 7 figures out of that in 3 to 5 years. So
yeah, it doesn't take much. It really doesn't. And, at the end of the day, here's the beautiful part about it, just speaking to the things that you spoke to, is, when you start a business as a business owner, or speaking to you who wants to start a business, the number one thing you have to consider is, how much does it cost me to run my business? Because just because I make a dollar doesn't mean I keep that entire dollar. At the end of the day, I could be keeping, nothing, because I don't have the wherewithal, I don't have the right tools, I don't have all kinds of things. With this business, we recognize that when we first built it. So what we're doing for you is we're literally giving you a portion of our business right out of the box. And what that means is all the lessons that we've learned, all the education, all the know-how, so that from the very beginning, you don't have to challenge yourself with getting up and running. You are up and running. Now the challenge simply is going to be learning your business so that you get to business. And that's really important. As you said a few moments ago, there's many opportunities that we recognize out there that people can get into, but it's really hard to get into because they left a lot of the big fine details out of the picture. Like, how do I accept a payment? What is accepting a payment? What should I charge? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I keep my head on straight? Those are right. Those are really
how do I not go
things.
Crazy trying to figure these questions out?
Right. Oh, and by the way, just because somebody provided you with sales literature doesn't mean that it's the right literature for you, because they don't have experience in selling it.
Right.
Right.
Or the interpretation of what you're doing with it.
That's right. So we're really holding your hand to tell you these are the solution sets that you'll sell. More importantly, this is, suggested retail pricing so that you don't get lost in the, trying to figure those things out. Defining who your perfect subject really is. Yes, you can go down or above those perfect subjects, but at the end of the day, if you follow the yellow brick road, you will get to Oz. And that's pretty much how we designed this program.
Yeah, I like it. I do liken it to business in a box, but it is turnkey. Mm-hmm. It does come with training support. You are in, the $5,000 to $25,000 price range, which is the really great sweet spot for people who want a great business that can potentially make lots and lots of money, but realistic money as well. And realistically with this program, if someone had really good sales chops, you could do something fairly quickly. 3 to 4 weeks, you could be on your way with this program, where others might take a little bit longer, but others might be, you might be able to jump in this super quickly. But the key is longevity with this. Every time they send a text or, do a program, you make a hey cent. And hey cent to me is fantastic, because if I can make money while I'm sleeping by doing a lot of work for the next 3 years, that's fantastic. And I think a lot of people really want that type of business, but also want to know that the business is going to be here 3 years from now. And with a lot of them that have gone out of business, particularly in the last crash, if we go into recession, this business could soar. The ironic part is yours is not going to get hit very much, in the sense it actually may kind of be one of those. It's funny, just like American Saver. If the economy does tank, you actually make more money in most cases than a stronger economy. So, God bless the great economy, but I think 2020 we might see a recession. And if we do, I want people to know and be cognizant of what you're purchasing now, because it may be different. And I keep stressing this month, October, is the month to buy. Buy right now. If you're going to buy a business, buy now, because it takes that 30 to 60 days, and you can actually be making money by the holidays, which is when everybody is cycling around, and that's when the most money is spent in the entire year. So if you're going to buy a business now and you're going to become an expert, you'll be able to jump on board, make a little bit of money before the end of the year, and try to make your money back that you have spent on the business, roar into 2020 with the understanding about you've already got it, business is purchased, you know what you're doing, you understand the back office, all the other stuff and the merchant stuff for your end is already taken care of, so you don't have to worry about all that stuff, because it is complex. Then you get the merchant pariahs, although I've worked with a bunch of them, and some of them are great, some of them are not so great. Then you get into woes and chargebacks, and it's very complex. Owning a business in that sense, you're really owning everything. When you're buying it out of a box such as yourself, all of that stuff is done for you. If I were to do that, I would want that, because I know the pain that you're taking away from some people. The mistakes can be, let's say yours is $49.99. A couple chargebacks and a couple of mistakes can be twice that in the end. Easily. So not having to make any of these mistakes right up front is key. What can you share as kind of a final summation as far as, well, obviously we want to know how to get in touch with you, but what should they know about FanCONNECT in general? Is there any kind of one solution that says all about FanCONNECT, and could you tell us how to reach it?
Well, yeah. So, we have a variety of different programs that you can resell, number one, which is really helpful for you. So you're not stuck with one position into a marketplace. That's number one. Number two, we've been doing this since 2007. So, we are your trusted partner. So that says a lot to you. 12 years in the business. Wow, we're not going anywhere, right? We've also sent well over almost 250 million messages for our business partners. In addition to that, we've generated over 1.75 billion in sales and prepaid services for customers. So those are some very hefty numbers when you think about it. So you are in good hands. Lastly is, how do you contact us? Well, a couple ways. One is you can go to c3digitalmarketing.com. You can fill out the form there, or just give us a call. We're happy to talk to you. Just feel it out, understand what you're looking for, because that's really important. You got to get a little bit of a feel good type feeling about who you're going to work with. So I encourage you, give us a call. You can reach us here in our Tampa office at 813-490-7255, and you can talk to any one of us. I'm definitely welcome you to call me direct. You're welcome to do that. Ask for me by name, Dyson. I'd be more than happy. Sit down, just talk it out with you. I mean, you're going to be a business owner, and from a business owner to business owner, you probably really want to know, the skinny on what we're doing. Just get a little bit of flavor of who I am, maybe even what the company's all about for you, just to make sure that it's the right fit.
It's perfect. Not everybody's going to take that time. They want to sell it right away and then talk to you later. So I really appreciate you taking the time to let people understand not only what FanCONNECT is, who you're looking for, whom it's good for. Generally, I think we've explored, how much it costs. I didn't get a chance to go over, and this message was not to go over all the nuances about it, but Dyson does have multiple different plans, multiple different programs, multiple revenue streams. There is passive, there is residual. I think it's one of the best business opportunities on the marketplace myself, and I would highly recommend anybody purchasing it. So I will look for you in our next follow-up, which is going to feature C3, which is another powerful tool. So if people would like to tune in next week, we'll be back.
Thanks again.
Thanks again.